everybody. My name is Olga Segura, and I am so excited to be here with all of you. I'm thrilled to be in conversation with these powerful and incredible women who are part of the team behind the movie, The Cow Who Sang a Song into the Future. Please welcome writer-director Francisca Alegría, co-writer Fernanda Urrejola, producer Alejandra García, and the amazing actresses behind this movie, Mía Maestro and Leonor Varela. Let's start with the filmmaker and Francisca. To have a movie, you had a movie, a short film, and then having now your first baby at the Sundance Film Festival 2022. How are you feeling?
It's a dream, you know, when you're living in this other reality, and it happened, and I feel very thankful. Overall, thankful for these women that you're seeing here and all the rest of the people who made this film possible. And just kind of like to start maybe with the creation of the project, I felt like this was truly a co-creation because Fernanda and we have a third writer as well, worked for many years in the story. But even in the very beginning, when I was still by myself, Leonor and Mia also entered the creative process. So we got, thanks to Sundance as well, we got to workshop some scenes with a previous draft, like a very like older draft. And we that's where we met. That's where we connected creatively. And so their input, not only as actresses, but also as storytellers and just their own essence, started also getting us putting their inputs, their creative energy into the script as well. And so it felt like a very organic process. Sometimes it felt a bit long. We all wanted to make it so badly. But I think it was worth it because we didn't waste any time with the process.
And that was my next question, how did you meet with Mia and Leonor? Like, I understand that you were, the script was part of the Sundance Lab, but how did that come together?
Maybe they can tell their part, no?
I love that story so much. If I can jump in, I'll share, because when you talk about the movie and you talk about, you know, what it meant to you, I'm just so excited to hear you say that, because it's the first return I've had on the movie. So thank you for your words. And it was such a soul's journey. There's really no other way to put it. Like, when we met and Fran called me and she's like, would you do the Sundance thing with me? I was sure I'd known her before. I'm like, I already read this. I was adamant. I was insistent on her checking her email that I had already read this. There was such a sense of deja vu. There was such a sense of knowing this material and feeling like it was part of my life already. That it continued in that same vein. When we met at Sundance and I got to meet Mia and I got to meet Fran in person, and then even with Fernanda, who's, you know, like a sister to me, it's just felt so familiar, home-like, and like part of a soul's journey. I don't know if you feel that way too, Mia.
I did. You know, there's a saying when you live in LA and you're an actor, whenever the Sundance Institute calls you to do anything, you just go, like, no questions asked. And I would live by that. It's one of the most creative hubs, communities in the world. And as Latin Americans, we have so much to be thankful for, because they've helped so many of our beautiful movies from all our wonderful countries for so many years. So I actually met Francisca at you know, in the mountain. I just landed, and I had known Leonor from before, but it was the first time that we were actually working together. And at the time, you know, our characters, as you know, in the film, they're there together, but they don't meet much. So Leonor was leaving because she had done her scenes and I was arriving, and I met Francisca for the first time. And as Leonor was saying, it just felt, there was a sense of recognition that we were already a family. And the film, it's, I don't want to sound new agey because I think the film is much more profound than that, but there's something really magical about how this film has come about, and the filming, the script, the characters, the intertwining between our own roles and our personal lives, and the things that we've gone through as a community, all of us, you know, in the years that we started at the Institute and then we filmed the movie. So I think it's been a really beautiful, many times very painful, you know, in the most beautiful kind of way, transformational way, but it's been a real journey for all of us. And I think you feel that when you watch the film.
Yeah, you certainly feel it through the film. Alejandra, how did you meet this team?
Well, I met Francisca, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Fran, correct me. And 19? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
18, maybe 18.
So we met in a kind of interview. I was like interviewing her because I was really interested in her work. I didn't know her personally. And so she came to my office and we talked a little bit. And then, I don't know, I feel completely a chemistry in right that moment. We started developing another project, actually, hopefully the second feature film of her coming soon. And then suddenly she was already developed this one, La Vaca. And then, I don't know, it just organically, and then I got in the project as well, and I was part of the team that in a way it was a little bit already composed. So that's it.
It's hard to say no to, I mean, I am a producer. It's hard to say no to this incredible script and team, right? I mean,
completely, it's impossible. And then I really like the script, but then, you know, like Fran has something that, you know, she's the script as well, you know, it's a story. She has like a mysticism, and what she's telling, it's completely honest of the way she sees life and she lives life. And that was, for me as a producer, it was like a really interesting trip in all senses.
Thank you, Alejandra. You know, I want to talk about the process, Francisca, that you had with Leonor and Mia. There's a scene, guys, without saying so much, there's a scene under the water that is just so strong and beautiful. I had a roller coaster of feeling. What was the process for you as a director with both of them, and how did you guys develop that incredible chemistry? I mean, it's on the script, but did you had any exercises or any special magic?
You only spiked her drinks a couple times, no big deal.
I mean, first of all, they brought the magic. I didn't do much, really. Sometimes I feel going back, I feel that I didn't do much on set, you know, like really, this is like, and so, but again, because our relationship started many years before we shot, so they had the characters in them, so engraved in them, that once we arrived there, although we did do some rehearsals of specific scenes that were more dramatically, maybe more demanding, for this one, I mean, and you guys can jump in. I don't think we didn't talk about this too much. We didn't intellectualize this scene too much, or many others. Mm-hmm. But we were, I don't know, in this state of, I was completely entregada to them, kind of like being the characters, that if for this scene, I didn't give many directions. The directions that I did for underwater were more because we were in a very constrained, you know, place, and it was very technical. And I was, like, to be honest, more concerned about their, you know, their well-being underwater, because it was very complex. They can
so complex. That's what I'm asking you. I want to talk about Mia and Leonor. Please jump in.
You know, I think. Sorry, go ahead, baby.
Go ahead, love. No, go.
Okay, I think Fran is being very humble, as she is, but there's something in the eye of the beholder, as you know, Olga. There's something in the way that you're held, that you're looked, that you're cared for, that allows you to give 110% of yourself. And that's what Fran does. She has this way, as Alejandra says, of living, of being, that is, she just leads in a certain way. And as a director, she set a tone for the entire team. You know, she said, jump in the river, you jump in the river. She said, go, like, do a flip, you do it. Like, there's nothing that you wouldn't do, because she leads with so much love. It's so coherent, this movie, with who she is. And I think for me, in that scene in the pool, I even went overboard. I really hurt my eardrum, because I wouldn't equalize on screen. I would just drop. But it wasn't because I was unconscious. It was just because you wanted to give everything to somebody that holds the entire team and yourself and your well-being as a human being in the way she does. She's just very loving and caring. And for me, in that scene with Mia, I think it was the first time, right, love, that we really were together. And we were able to, I think it's the first scene we shot together, and we were like giggling in the water. You know, I'm a diver too, and we're like working out the technical things and being very supportive of each other, feeling like we got each other's back too. And you know, it just felt very organic in that nurturing way that Fran leads everything.
I think it's a privilege for actors to be able to work on a script, and it doesn't happen much, and to work with a director and the writer and the whole production team for so long. So like Leonor was saying, there's this intimacy that it's created with a director that you work over the years, and the characters, and you actually grow together as humans, as a team, and that sometimes it's quite unusual, you know. And when you go through a process like this with someone that is leading the way Leonor is describing that Francisca was leading us, it's when you have this recognition that this is the way it should be always. This is the timing that an actor should have. This is the timing that two actresses should get to know each other and build a beautiful friendship over years of just like working on a script. This may be the true meaning of storytelling and why we do what we do. And that's why we chose to do this, even though sometimes, as we all know, it is the most beautiful job in the world. And sometimes it is the hardest job in the world. So like Fran was saying, she did nothing on set, which is completely untrue. That's her feeling. But that feeling of like everything was understood is because we've gone through many things together before and through the characters, and we had them completely internalized. It's a you know, Sundance is a festival where indie films are celebrated and fostered, and as we all know, independent filmmaking, it's magical yet so hard. You have to do things really fast. So as an actor, you want to get there and just have your character down. There's no, as Alejandra can tell you, there's no time to, you know, redo a scene many times. You just have to be ready. And I feel like we were both just ready. And also we were just like craving to get, I was craving to get this story out of my body. You know, we've been holding this story within us for so long. And with that scene, it's a very technical scene. And I don't know if it was the first one that we shot, but it was the first one that we rehearsed together when we got there, because it was so technical. And truly, it was hard as hell. We're both, you know, divers. We love scuba diving. It has nothing to do with scuba diving when you shoot underwater. You always have this like myth that it's, oh my God, yeah, I'm a diver, it's good. No, it was like, I remember going there, I was like with a panic attack underwater. You know, we were in full lockdown in Chile. You know, for me, a lot of trauma was triggered by being in a lockdown in South America, not being able to cross the border to see my family. So it was hard as hell, but somehow the being underwater, going through all the technicality and knowing that I had Leonor, you know, taking care of me and that she had my back, you just create this just sisterhood that it's just extremely special.
So special. Thank you for that. It's crazy that you guys are like, oh yeah, the scene you hardly remember, or yeah, it's technical, but it's just so powerful and so beautiful. I want to know about the production. Where you guys filmed? How many weeks were you able to get with the budget that sometimes we are able to get in Latin America, which is not a lot of people knows here in the US, but it's very limited and tight. And so can you speak a little bit of that? Because that's the magic of us Latinos filmmaking, like the stuff that we make with so little money.
It's like Tetris master, it's like every little piece together. And Alejandra was incredible that way.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, Ale, por favor.
Thank you. Well, it's very difficult to produce films in Latin America because we have really few availabilities of getting funds. And I think that in this case, we had it was very important, the international co-production we had between France, Germany, United States, and Chile. Where the co-producers value the origin and the characteristics of the project, preserving their identity, I would say, which in this case is a film directed by a Chilean woman, spoken in her language and inspiring her family background, and shot in Chile. So this is like the first thing that allowed us to do it. Even though it's like a kind of low budget film, but to get the financing was really difficult. So that's why this is the first step we had to, in order to make it happen. And then what happened next, once we had the financing and it was really a collaborating between all these countries. It's amazing how they really, even though we were in the middle of the pandemic, it was really important, the relationship with France and the States and Germany. And then because it came the decision of shooting or not shooting in the south of Chile, where we were really enclosed in this pandemic, and we did it. And we had, I don't know if it is something about being Latin American or not, but really we had like this bubble, we went all together. And all the cast and crew were so compromised with the project and with everybody, like not only the film, but also like wanting to achieve each protocols so nobody gets ill, and the film, it can be made. And that was another magic thing, like what happened behind the scenes for 1 month, six weeks. So yeah.
You filmed the whole movie in 5 weeks.
In 5 weeks, yes. It was
counting Saturday half day or only Monday to Friday?
Saturday counting.
Monday to Saturday.
Wow.
6 days per week for 5 weeks. Yeah.
I want to congratulate you again because, 3 years of writing, but also putting your heart and getting, as a producer, Alejandra, putting every single piece like that actually is going to hold the place and hold that incredible structure and getting into the movie. Wow. I'm sorry that I'm always through the whole panel going like, wow. But it's just, the movie is wow. You guys really.
Something to that, Olga, because really was so, Mia tapped into it a little bit, was we had to do everything so fast after so many years that I can't be more thankful for these two women, because they really pulled off very complex physical scenes and emotional scenes. And sometimes we had like one take like this. And sometimes Mia, for example, I think Mia did not have more than 2 takes in many, Leo as well, but there were a few that I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, we need to keep going. So it was a very demanding, like now looking back, but also at that moment, seeing them giving their, and the rest of the cast as well. But as you know, Mia, Leonor are in most of the film. And yeah, it was you couldn't have done it with actors that were not as
100%.
Yeah, as talented, as prepared, and giving everything, because sometimes you need 7 takes. I don't know. They were doing it, they had to do it in 2 because we had to run to the next, scene. So very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
And also including all the uncomfortabilities of the pandemic and the protocols, like wearing masks, you couldn't be on the set all the time, so it was much more difficult. So yeah, I agree with Fran that they were really amazing to achieve it.
Perdón, Mía, adelante.
I want to give kudos to Alejandra and also to Francisca and Fer and the whole production team, and a lot of our producers that were not on set and were dispersed all over the world that we couldn't have access to because of the pandemic. But it is, for me, and I'm sure Leonor would agree, it is and I don't want to talk in a binary kind of way, but sometimes it's necessary, but it is the most balanced female-male set I've ever been in my whole career. And to do that in Chile, and it's not my country, I'm from Argentina, but I'm a neighbor, so I feel it's part of our land. And to come to South America to do that, it was really beautiful for me. I don't know what was the percentage, you can say, Ale, but I think it was 50-50.
Qué impresionante. Bueno, como estamos en the Latinx House y somos latinas todas, vamos a tener que despedirnos en español. Nuevamente, muchísimas gracias. Me encantaría seguir teniendo más tiempo para platicar con ustedes. De hecho, hacer un panel o un screening en nuestra casa para que platiquemos más de las escenas, la cinematografía también se nos pasó, pero wow, espectacular. ¿Quién es el cinematógrafo o cinematógrafa?
Inti Briones.
Un hombre muy femenino por lo demás.
Maravilloso, maravilloso, de verdad.
Maravillosa la cinematografía también. Creo que han hecho un excelente trabajo nuevamente. Me encantaría que todas dijeran algo que les haya gustado de participar en esta película.
Bueno, pues me tiro al agua. La verdad que para mí Olga es la sensación de familia. Me llevo... Fran es de mis amigas más cercanas, creo que no pasan semanas sin que hablemos. Fernanda también ha sido una persona que me enseña y me sigue enseñando mucho, que amo, que adoro. En Chile siempre nos confunden, siempre hemos pensado que somos hermanas, hay una cercanía de corazón muy, muy fuerte y siento que me gané una hermana en Mía. La verdad que seguimos hablando a menudo y siento eso, siento que me llevo con Alejandra también, la gente que me gané de por la vida. Y además de la experiencia artística, cuando hay una experiencia humana rica, es ganancia pura.
De acuerdo. Mía.
Bueno, un poco lo que decía Leonor, la sensación de comunidad fue muy importante para mí en esta película. Y creo que de todas las cosas bellas y increíbles de la película, lo que, si me pongo a pensar, lo primero que me vino a la mente cuando hiciste la pregunta es mi amistad con Leonor.
Wow. Es que cuando vean la película, señores y señoras y señores, van a entender. Ale, Francisca y Fer, antes de que nos vayamos.
Para mí, yo creo que tiene que ver, es un aprendizaje que fue en conjunto de todas y del proyecto, y que tiene que ver como la confianza, como que normalmente estoy desde mi rol de productora muy acostumbrada a controlar todo, y este proyecto que habla un poco también de soltar, ¿no? Y además el equipo y esta comunidad y el espíritu es como entregarse. Hay una pandemia, no podemos estrenar en Sundance, no podemos estrenar en Sundance, pero y desde ese lugar aparecieron todas las cosas mágicas de las cuales también habla la película. Para mí es como la máxima enseñanza.
Yo aprovecho, me sumo a todo lo que dijeron, porque realmente desde la relación familia, la profundidad de crecer juntas, impresionante con todas las cosas que nos tocó vivir. También para mí esta este proyecto mágico marca como una base de lo que quiero. O sea, realmente esta es la forma de trabajar, esta es la forma que tenemos que seguir multiplicando como comunidad, como industria. Fue realmente bello. Hay muchas cosas que no logramos hablar en cuanto a cómo fue la producción, cómo se armaron los equipos, como muchas cosas que quedaron en el tintero para otro encuentro, ojalá, de todas maneras. Pero sí, cómo fue hecho desde principio a fin, con las cosas buenas y con las cosas malas. Todo ese aprendizaje de un lugar tan amoroso es algo que me guardo en el corazón, y aprovecho también, como pasándole la pelota a la Fran aquí, claro, ella dice, yo no hice nada, pero una directora así de potente, con las ideas tan claras, con el talento que tiene esta mujer, pero además con el corazón, que nos invita a todos a abrirnos de una manera fácil, es esencial, y de verdad, como que así debería ser todo, como un gran ejemplo, y ojalá que nos funcione.
Dentro de la ganancia de comunidad, de amistad, de hermandad, que hemos hablado, que creo que se nos repite a todas, quizás mi aprendizaje más grande que me llevo con la película es una sensación de humildad porque trabajamos todo el equipo humano en un lugar sagrado, en un lugar bello, lleno de animales y naturaleza, y grabamos con animales. Y me hace ponerme en perspectiva las cosas que hicimos con animales, entendiendo que tenemos que tener como cuidado con no pasar a llevar, hay todo un tema también para mí dentro de la película que fue quizás de las cosas más difíciles, que fue trabajar con animales sin transgreder su state of being. Entonces eso, de humildad, porque aprendí mucho. Es mi primera película y quiero seguir aprendiendo siempre de todas las personas que fueron parte de la experiencia.
Realmente un precioso proceso colaborativo.
Muchísimas gracias. Bueno, esta humildad y esta hermandad y que ahora la mantienen, se transmite en su película. Está ahí. Yo siempre creo que, y eso lo traen las actrices también, porque las actrices como, they set the bar on set. You know, if you see your actress that is giving everything and then the whole team is like, okay, we gotta be there for them. And I think Mia and Leo, I know that you gave yourselves 100%, 200%, 1000%, and you can feel that. So congratulations again, and thank you so much. Please go and watch it, support it, look for it, vote. It's in dramatic competition. World competition. It's in world competition cinema. It's a movie from Chile. The cast is Chilean. Mía Maestro is from Argentina, is the only one Argentina on the cast. They filmed in Chile with support of Germany and United States. And it's a very beautiful film.
And France, Alejandra.
And France, because us Latinos, we need help from all over.
Yes.
In order to achieve a movie like this. So again, thank you so much for joining here at the Latinx House. Congratulations for your first film, Francisca, for your first film, and Sundance 2022. This is big.
Thank you so much for having us, Olga.
Thank
so
you.
And your support.
I miss you, girls. Las amo, las extraño.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm gonna go and watch again the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you to everyone for tuning in, and vote for us.
Yes.
Yes, vote.
Vote. Muchísimas gracias. Vean la película. Nos vemos, chicas. Gracias.
¡Arriba la vaca!
Chao. Besos.
Bye.
Mwah.